Shout Mafuta. Mafuta. Amen and amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise God forevermore. First of all, I want to thank the person of the Holy Spirit. Say thank you, Holy Spirit. And also want to thank our most highly esteemed Papa Joshua Aguilar. Say we love you, Papa. Say we love you, Papa. We love you, Papa. Now, be kind enough to go to John chapter 4. I want to show you a thought in John chapter 4. John chapter 4. Here, we're looking at an account, an experience Jesus once had between him and the woman by the well. Amen. Amen. In John chapter 4. Amen. Praise the Lord forevermore. Hallelujah. And just yesterday, we were having a conversation with Pastor Favor. And in the course of having the conversation, we found ourselves saying some things that for me, we marveled at. And we find from verses 15, Jesus saying something that we're amazed he will say. Here, from verses 15, it says, the woman said unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come thither to draw, because Jesus had said to her previously, if I give you water to drink, you will never thirst again. And now, we hope those watching us can hear us, right? Yes, Jesus, when the lady said, Master, give me water to drink so that I don't have to thirst anymore, the next thing Jesus said was, go call your husband and come here. It looks like Jesus is saying, for me to give you this water that I told you about, I will need your husband present. Now, is that thing still working? Okay. It looks like there are certain things God will not give you except your spouse is present. Because he said to this woman, go call your husband. Now, you told this lady about something that caught her interest. And now you're telling her, for you to give her this thing, she needs to bring her husband. Well, the woman answered and said, I have no husband. And Jesus said, You have correctly said. That means you have well said, I have no husband. You are correct. Okay, so if she was correct, why did you even tell her in the first place that for you to give her this water, she has to come with her husband? Since you know she has no husband. And Jesus did not say she was lying. If I look at verses 18. For thou art had 5 husbands. So it is possible one can have more than one husband. And it's not as if they died and then each one died and she married the other. They are all alive. It could be her landlord's son. It could be her landlord. It could be a colleague at work. It could be somebody down the street. It could be someone downtown. But, or someone she was introduced to by a precious friend. But she has had 5. Maybe one is an apostle, the other is a prophet. Maybe one is an evangelist, the other is a pastor or deaconry. Because she's currently with one that is probably an archdeacon. So, making 6. Well perfected.
Yes, sir.
It says, thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5. And he whom thou now have is not your husband. In that you said truly you have no husband. So, she has had 5 husbands. But she's currently with one that is not a husband. So, it does suggest, therefore, that there are some relationships that may not be good as husband and wives, but they can be good as roommates or trial marriage. But it's not in marriage. Because it looks like they are in harmony here. This one that is not her husband, it looks like everything is fine. The guy comes sometimes, he goes. He's home and away. That's how they play it. So, Jesus said, the one you currently have, notice, they don't have her, she is always the one having them. You see, this will tell you something about this woman. Her domineering nature. Because she's the one always having them. Meanwhile, the Bible says, he that findeth a wife.
He that findeth a wife, she did the find.
She is now finding the husband. Jesus said, you have had. He didn't say you married. You had them and made them husbands. 5 of them. There was something wonderful about this one. Maybe she has seen what her mother went through. So he said, no, I'm not going to have it. I have to make my choice. She sounds like an American here. Jesus said, you have had 5. 5 husbands. Even the one you currently have is not your husband yet. So you are correct. You are correct. But remember what Jesus told her she was correct about. She was correct when she said she had no husband because of the one she is currently with that is not her husband. But she was not correct when she said she does not have a husband because she has had 5. So you need to know what Jesus was saying she was correct about. She was correct at the fact that the one she's currently with is not her husband. But that does not mean that she has not had husbands. She had 5. In this her young life. It looks like the marriage was every year. But she has had 5. Maybe she was in search of something that looks like water. Because the water Jesus was telling her that he will give her will make her never thirst again. So which means it will make her never look for another husband again. So that means there is a water you can receive that can make you remain in your marriage and not have more than one marriage. So instead of criticizing the one who is married twice, let's try and find out why she was in that condition. Maybe she was thirsty of something that the first husband couldn't give her, and she thought she could find it in the second. With all the promise of heaven and earth he made to her, and he does not have it. Because Jesus is telling her now, go call your husband. And she said, I don't have. And Jesus said, you are correct, really. You've had 5, but the one you are with is not your husband. The woman looked at him. Is it water that is causing all this thing? It's water. That's why you are insulting me like this. Well, she didn't feel insulted. She felt that maybe this Jesus could just be the man that she has been looking for. Because she always wanted to have a man that can give her all she ever wanted, where she will not have to look for another man. And there are many women like that. And sometimes we think they are bad women. Meanwhile, they are not. Put your marker here. Let's show you something. We're digressing a bit, but let's just show you something. Go to Genesis chapter 3. 3. Genesis chapter what?
3.
Please, don't close John chapter 4. We said we're just digressing a bit. Are you in Genesis chapter 3?
Yes, sir.
Look at what the Lord said to the woman in verse 16. And unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children. Don't worry about that, because that does not pertain to us, right? Right? Maybe except you, but
No, don't pretend to me, sir.
but notice the next thing he said. And all thy desire, say it. You see that? And then he shall rule over thee. So that means a husband who is not able to meet your desires should not rule over you. So you see why those 5 husbands left her. They could not meet her desires. The one she's having right now, she's just managing that one. She was in need of a water that she can have and never be thirsty in her life. Yes, she was the one fetching water for the man she has at home. There was a desire she had that the one at home could not meet. Now, did anything about love mentioned here? Because you can marry the one you love that cannot meet your desires. And you will be stupid to let him rule over you. Jesus said, the man who cannot meet the woman's desire should not rule over her. It's like a boyfriend who is saying, where are you? Where are you right now? You did not buy her the phone. You are not paying her phone bill. You are not tracking her. It's wrong. And if the lady is wise, she should just end that relationship. When it is the end of the month, then the lady say, okay, since you've been tracking my number, yeah. T-Mobile says my phone expense is $200. Where do you expect me to get that money from? Well, you've been tracking my phone. You don't know even the tracking is adding to my bill. Because you downloaded the software. But the woman was in need of a water that will make her never to thirst again. So when a man is coming into the life of a woman, he must have something to offer her that will make her not thirst again. So whether you're a reverend sister, there is a thirst you carry. And you might test again. This one tested 5 times. She's currently testing 1. And Jesus is a prospect. You understand? And Jesus did not say she's a bad woman. Jesus did not say she's a bad, because generally, if this woman were to live in our day, and thank God she didn't live in our day, we can label her and say she's loosed. In fact, we can start calling her that woman that married 5 times. But could it be that they are even better than you? You that is married once. But the marriage that you are in, this one marriage that you are in, is full of misery. Needs are not met. But that lady knows what she's wants, and she knows what she wants. And that's why she said, man, guy, you are not the guy. I need somebody else. Even if these husbands wanted to get her pregnant, she will say, in the name of Jesus, I abort any prospective pregnancy this man would have impregnated me. Jesus said, even the one you are currently with is not your husband. Because he's the one you are the one taking care of him. Jesus said, your desire shall be to your husband. So, between the woman and the man she has at home, who should go and fetch water? Because Jesus said, go and call him. He should know what he's supposed to do. But it looks like what he is supposed to do is what you are doing now. Jesus said, you are correct. You really don't have a husband. You really don't have a husband. Particularly a man that you are the one providing for. That's not a husband. I know he's at home. He couldn't even stroll with you. While you are carrying the water on your head, both of you can be gisting. Jesus said, go and call him. She says, I don't have any husband. Jesus says, it's correct. Because let's suppose she attempted, she was going to call her husband. And let's suppose she turned her back to start going. Jesus would say, come back, don't fool yourself. You know that's not a man. Jesus would have said so. Because Jesus said, you don't have a husband. But she's currently with one. Jesus said, you are with someone, but he's not a husband. You see that? See, a husband is not necessarily someone who marries you in church. A husband is the one who can meet your desires. So say, no, we share with each other. It's 50-50. This is not 50-50. He says all the woman's desires. And God knows the woman more than you. You, this man that wants to marry her. God says, do you have water that you can offer her that can make her not thirst again? In other words, do you have what it takes to provide for her and she will not look elsewhere? Because do you know there are some marriages today where the woman looks onto her own father. The woman says, don't worry, I'll talk to my dad. He will help us. They can't pay the mortgage again. Then the father says, okay, fine, come and live in one of my buildings till you are able to reorganize yourself. And now you're angry. And is it because we are in your father's house? That's why you disrespect me. Hey, you think she should respect you now? She should respect you now. When you're already in the middle of her father's will. You are part of the inheritance she's going to inherit. The house you are living in is her inheritance. And you say you will not respect her. They should twist your mouth for saying what you said. Then the father comes and knocks at the door. Then he says, my father is around, come and greet him. Why should I come and greet your father? You are in his house. Oh.
Yes.
You will not greet? Or you should go and open the door.
He's supposed to open the door, sir.
Even if he parks by, he says, sister, let me move your car to the garage. He said, no, don't bother. Because she married you. Notice she has had. She has had 5. She's just starting with you. And the father is just marking time to see whether you change. Then he heard reports that you and his daughter are having disagreement. Then you now say to your father-in-law, stay out of our business, out of his business, in his house. Did you even have any business? You came into his business with his own daughter. He said, stay out of our business. Humble yourself. Because she just started. Before long, your wife will start measuring food for you. Jesus said, go call your husband. The woman said, I don't have any husband. And the one she has at home did not hear what she said. He thinks he's a husband. But the woman is telling Jesus, she told God, that's not the husband. Please give me another one. Give me something that will satisfy me. That one that I have, he's not your husband. And until she met Jesus, she was even expecting a Messiah.
Yes.
Do you understand? Because 5 useless men. Now the one she has is not your husband. She said, no, let's wait for Messiah. Messiah will make everything fine. She told Jesus, we're waiting for Messiah. She told Jesus. Jesus said, I'm the one. She said, okay, no problem. It's done. But Jesus said, go call your husband. Why did he say it? Is it that he wanted to mock her condition? The lady was not ashamed. She said, I don't have any husband. If Jesus had said, follow me like he said to Peter, the woman will follow him. That one will be at home waiting for water. She will soon come. She will soon come. It's 7 p.m. She will soon come. She will soon come. 10 p.m. He's not asking neighbors. One night, 2 nights, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 3 years.
Oh, 1 year?
The man says,
She missing.
police, her picture is everywhere, police. And if you notice, she was very popular. Everyone in the city knew her. That was it. That woman, very famous. 5 marriages. And you think that person is not famous? Now she's currently with one that she's fetching water for. But notice how she suddenly fell for Jesus. Because the thing is that, there's this. I know of a man we visited once, and he said to me, I respect you, Bro.Osi, but just that I really don't welcome men of God. He has a very beautiful wife, who is my good friend. He said, but I don't really welcome men of God. He said, because of my friend's experience. A man of God came and took his wife. And he, obviously, Even though he's talking to me, is my friend. He himself, he's talking to himself too. Because it's his woman, the wife, that is providing for them. A very beautiful lady. The lady wants to do medicine today. You say, never. Over my dead body. You want to go and... Which school? No school will admit you. I will write special petition that they should leave you alone. Finally, the wife registered for medicine. And I laughed over it. And we laughed on the phone when she told me she was registering for medicine. She said, Bro.Osi, why are you laughing? I said, Madam, you know you don't even have the mind to do it. And 2 months later, she said she's not doing nursing. Of course, now she's back at home. You understand? But the point is that the man was afraid. That there's a Jesus coming. He can meet my wife by the well or at the mechanic shop. The tire can burst, AAA comes, and she's gone. No? After changing tire. Because this is a place where you will not expect Jesus was talking, will meet this woman. And this was a woman. Listen, we're telling you something. She already told Jesus, I don't have any husband. Jesus said, yes, the one you have at home is not your husband. But you've had 5. And this one now is hardened. And it's not as if she was inheriting the men as they died. No, they are not dead. They are all alive. Jesus, if they all died, Jesus would have told her, your husbands are late, they are diseased, they are late. But they were men who could not meet her needs. But were her needs too grievous or too extreme for them to meet? No. She just wanted what could satisfy her. But she couldn't see it in the men. The 6 men she has had. But then again, let's leave the men alone. Because we've talked much about them. Let's talk about you, the woman. How did you get to the point where you now desire something that will quench your thirst once and for all? It does mean that there was something that created an appetite in you. You mean 5 men cannot meet your needs? At least if you got a car from the first one, you may likely get a house from the second one. You may likely have an inheritance in a business from the third one. What is it that you want, madam, that these 6 men can satisfy? What kind of woman are you? Because notice, she was so influential, she could gather the whole city. Yet, in the whole city she had influence over, none out of the 6 men could meet her needs. What a woman. Who gave birth to her? How was she raised? Who is her father? How was she raised? Well, there's need for us to know. Who gave birth to her? We're asking you.
Sir?
Oh, you don't know her?
We don't know.
How was she raised? He says the one that you are currently with is not your husband. Wonderful. Now, when Jesus said it, verses 19 of John chapter 4. Now, it's amazing. Remember that Genesis that we read? God said to the woman, all your desires shall be to your husband, and he will do what? Rule over thee. But then, the man who was to rule over his wife, God caused the ground for his sake and said, it will be difficult for you to be able to provide. The one who is faced with the difficulty of providing for his household has a woman back home with a lot of desires. What a marriage Adam had with Eve. Remember, he cleaved to the wife. Now God is telling the wife, he will meet your desires. Now Adam, ground will show you hardship. He said even before you eat, you will sweat. Wife is not sweating, no. She just has desires. Her desires are even worse than your sweat. But there are many families who are like that today. The father is even... Have you ever seen where a father gathers his children? He's explaining his condition to his children concerning their mother. He said, look, this is your mother. Honestly, I really don't understand her. I don't know what she wants. And the first son is doing like this. Say, yeah, daddy, I feel for you, daddy. The daughter is crying. Mommy, leave daddy alone. Daddy has tried. Mommy say, oh, which kind of stupid try? When I was minding my business, he said he will give me heaven and earth. So sometimes there's a way, whether it is better now to just ask the woman from the beginning, let me know what you really want and see whether I can do something. Because Jesus said, you've had 5. And Jesus told her, the first time you ever told the truth in your life is the acknowledgement that the one you have at home is not a husband. Maybe you are using him to pass time, or he's using you to pass time, or both of you are having a symbiotic relationship with each other. Jesus said, well, you know, he still is not able. The water you are fetching for him is so that he can regain himself and start afresh. Jesus said, but I can give you water that will quench your thirst. Then Jesus said, go call your husband. It's amazing. This woman is so independent.
Yes.
She said, forget. No man can handle me. Give me what you say you have. I'll follow you. That's what she was telling Jesus. Is it not what I will leave it here? If you can meet my needs, forget. Very independent. So independent. These are the kind of people who have come to that point where they can say marriage is not for them. Because they've been married. And it looks like, man. The man said that I'm the one taking care of him. I'm like an ATM card for himself, providing for him. But the amazing thing here is that with all that Jesus told her about her marital life, he did not even fix it. He did not solve it. He didn't say, now that you have met me, that marriage will work. there are circumstances God can catch you in. He will leave that matter. He will leave you in it.
Never lies.
How large is your appetite that even God himself cannot satisfy? And this lady, when Jesus said, truly, you've had 5. The one you currently with is not your husband. See what she said in verses 19. What did she say?
The woman said to him,
See,
Sir,
I guess only
that you are a prophet.
she said, I perceive. you are a prophet. So she's saying, I perceive you are a different man. Remember, when Elisha used to travel, there was a woman who always used to invite Elisha into her restaurant. She had a restaurant, actually. She was into a restaurant business. She would give him food to eat. And Elisha would eat from time to time. Now, one day, she went to her husband and said, I perceive this man is a holy man.
Yes.
In other words, all the while she was looking at Elisha, she was always comparing him to her husband and all the men around her. She said, but sir, you are different. You understand? So we can understand why some men sometimes can be afraid that a man of God can take their wives. Now, if you are afraid that a man of God can take your wife, why don't you desire what the man of God has to keep your wife? Because the man will not go to where the woman likes to go to. This woman came to the well. The husband did not even escort her and say, please, lay your hands on me so that I can have the grace to be a husband to this woman. Because that a man can be with a woman who has been married 5 times, man, is a special love. This has to be a peculiar, special kind of love. A woman who has passed through the hands of 5 men, collected 5 proposal rings, won 5 wedding rings. Actually, they wore necklaces with 10 pendants. She has worn, one necklace with 10 pendants. We wear wedding bands today, but traditional Jewish weddings, they wear a necklace with 10 pendants. And if one is missing, then the woman is unfaithful. That's how they did it. Just don't let it get missing.
Exactly.
But now, she has collected how many chains now from me? 5 chains. With how many pendants in it? 50. Jubilee. That's Pentecost. 50 means Pentecost. This woman said, give me water. Give me water. From the way Jesus spoke, she said, sir, you are different. You must be a prophet. I know you don't live in this time. You know my story. You are different. I appreciate you. I dig your own, but it's okay. No problem. You must be a prophet. You must be a prophet. For you to know my case. So that means if Jesus knew this woman's marital experience, that means it was very, very possible Jesus could see her taking a bath in the bathroom. Jesus knew everything about her. She said, he must be a prophet. It's okay. She changed the subject. She said, our fathers worship in this temple. Jesus said, stop it, mother. You see, this will tell you the kind of person this woman was. She always wanted to be in control. Now she met a man who is more than a man to her. She says it's because some spiritual powers are backing you. You must be a prophet. Maybe that was what she always wanted. A man who had access to spiritual power. Because really, what she has always wanted to discuss with the first man she married, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, she began it with Jesus. She said, our fathers worship in this mountain. But the Jew says, we worship from afar. Worship comes from Jerusalem and all that. Well, what do you think? Jesus said, you worship what you do not know. You don't know what you worship. And she was fascinated. She initiated. Have you ever seen where a woman initiates a conversation? I mean, she was really interested in the man, Jesus. She said, I like this guy, man. This is what I've been wanting, man. She initiated a conversation, which she never did with the first one. Because if she did, she would have stayed in the first marriage. She never had that opportunity to have a spiritual conversation. Have you ever had, well, we don't know whether you've had, but have you ever, well, I don't know. We were thinking of how to ask the question. But imagine a lady asking a boyfriend, in case I collapse and I'm convulsing, can you make me, can you make me recover without calling 911? Imagine. This is their first date now. Why on earth would you think of that? So, no, it's just in case. Do you converse before? No, never. In case it happens to me, will you be able to, without calling 911? Oh, yeah, it's true. Maybe the man will tell her, maybe he thinks he's romantic. He'll say, I will converse with you too. It's true. No, the typical American will say, you're crazy. No, I won't let anything hurt you. I'm not saying you will let anything. Supposing I'm hot. Okay. Supposing I tell you now that they cut off my womb. Can you still make me have a child? You might say, no, I want to have children. No, is there anything wrong with your womb? No, nothing. No, supposing my womb was cut off. Because what we're telling you, this woman was not an ordinary woman.
Yes, sir.
Because there are strange occurrences today happening in many families. It's not as if the man and the woman don't love each other. It's just that whatever is happening to them is beyond them.
Yes, sir.
The woman is looking up to the man. The man is so spiritually incapacitated. And the demon is tearing the family apart. This lady really wanted a man who had access into spirits. She said, I've been waiting for Messiah. I must see him in my lifetime. And she was the first. And she was the first person Jesus told he was the Messiah. He didn't even tell his own disciples. His own men were looking for food. That's the problem. He sent his men away. Because this woman, if she had married Apostle Peter, she would leave him. If you read, Jesus sent the men away to go and buy bread. So you people should go and buy food. Let me engage in serious conversation with this woman. You understand? Not every male is a man. Oh.
That's true.
There's a way a woman can be talking to a man. She said, this is a real man.
Yes.
He's not VHS. Oh, oh you play basketball, you know how to dunk. You dunk. You know how to dunk. She says, sir, you must be a prophet. If you look at the Greek word for prophet, we'd like to show you something.
Yes, sir.
The word prophet in the Greek is the word prophetes, Prophe, accent over the E, Tes, accent over the E. Prophetes. Prophetes. That's how they. She said, it means one who is gifted at exposing divine truth. She said, you must be gifted. That's what she was saying to Jesus. One who is gifted at what? Exposing divine truth. Say, you are gifted. Not with soccer, not with the skill of playing soccer. Choosing, because I have them. I've met men who can play soccer. I've met men who can play American football. But you are gifted. You know how to expose truth. So, and it could be, this was what she always wanted. A man who can grant her access to truths. No wonder she was shuffling the men. I know you are the most valuable player in NFL. Forget it, man. I need someone who can grant me access to truths. Access to truths. Access to divine truth. Expose it to me. Start with me first. Tell me about myself. Then I'll follow you. See, if many women can listen to this woman, but many women mock this woman. Meanwhile, the marriage you want to enter, she has had 5 of it. And you think she's not worth listening to. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Say, look, I need a man who can expose divine truths to me. Forget it. Even if I married last night, and I meet a man who can expose me to divine truths, I will follow him. That's what she's telling me. Say, I don't have any man. She told Jesus, I don't have a man. Jesus said, even the one you have at home is not yours. She defined what a prophet is to Jesus. She said, you know how to expose divine truths. Say, you are gifted. One who is gifted at exposing divine truths. So, there are certain women today. They are not in a hurry to marry. They know the man they are waiting for. The one who is gifted. So, they listen to every conversation. They can challenge a man in a serious argument. And you think they are rude. No, they know what they are looking for. They can tell you, I fear no man. The only time I can go away is if God appears to talk to me. And they are not lying. Because they've had many. If you preach this in a wedding, on a wedding day, the woman will not marry the man. She will say, wait. Pastor, please give us 2 hours. Special guest, sit down, don't worry. Pastor, do you think I should still marry? Because if it is after material things, she already had them. A woman who could command the city, she was like the mayor. She was more influential than the mayor of the city. So having access to material things was not, she needed a man who can expose her to divine truths. Show me how to play with this thing. That's the kind of man I want. But today the lady say he's handsome, he's tall. You know, we grew up together. We used to take school bus together. Sister. Both of you will take ambulance together. No, not you now. We mean that sister. Have you Sister Luna? Yes.
I don't like that romance.
So, what kind of man are you really looking for in your life? Because name any kind of man you are with, she will tell you she has had it. At least she has had 5 marriages, 5 husbands, 6. So she has more experience than you. And no 2 men are the same.
That is true.
So she has had 6 experiences about men. You just only had 1 or 2. Your mother at most, or your grandmother had 3. This one had 6 experiences. And please, this woman is worth listening to. You see, there are some people, oh man. You know, people criticize the messages we preach. You are surprised now with what we're teaching now. Now you are beginning to like this woman. Because this is one place you don't like to read. There's a reason why we said that. You know, let's talk to Sister Luna. Let's leave these people for a while. Now, do you know that a lady who has been married for 25 years can say she's experienced in marriage? She can say that, right? Experience in what kind of marriage? What time? The one you and your husband. And your husband lives a routine life. So would you call that an experience in marriage? Because the one Susan wants to marry is not like your husband at all. So what advice can you give her on marriage? It is somebody like this that can talk to you. At least maybe Susan, the man you want to marry, looks like the 3rd husband she married. Not necessarily in looks, but in character. So she can tell you something. So who do you think has more experience? Let's say this woman in 5 years has been with 6 men. And this Mama Mary has been married for 25 years. Who do you think has more marital experience?
This woman.
Eh? Okay, let's give a name to this woman. Let's say Rashida. Or let's call her Rabiat. Rabiat. So, Sister Rabiat, in 6 years, has been married 5 times, and now she's currently having a boyfriend. And Mama Mary, that has been married for 25 years. Who do you think has more experience in marriage? But Sister Rabiat is a young person, right? Yeah? Please answer that. Sister Rabiat is what? Is a young person. Just married within the space of how many years? 5 years, right? But the experiences she has had. Mama Mary.
Yes, sir.
Who has been married for 25 years. Has never had it. So who do you think is fit to talk to Shakila? Yeah? Please answer. Is it Mama Mary or Rabiat? Mama Mary is wearing one ring for 25 years. Sister Rabiat has changed it 5 times.
What's the anniversary ring?
Who do you think has more experience? Now, what experience? Why do you say Sister Rabiat has more experience than Mama Mary?
Because she experienced different men with their different characters.
So her experience is with what? With marriage or with the men in the marriage?
With the men in the marriage.
Who do you think is worth listening to?
Sister Rabia.
Than Mama Mary.
Yes.
So when you see some group of old women sit down and say they want to tell you, I've been married now for 35 years. To one person, brother. God bless you, man. To one person. You think we should listen to you? This is your husband. And do you know, a woman can be married for 25 years. And a lady, she just turned 18 and she has had 25 boyfriends. Now, let's not fool ourselves. Do you know she has more experience with men than Mama Mary? Come on now. You may say those are with boys. You don't understand this thing. That's why even some mothers should look at their daughters and really ask themselves whether they are mates. Because mommy may have been married for 30 years. I know I'm your daughter, mommy, but I have more experiences with men. I've met someone like daddy before. But mommy doesn't know. Not sugar daddy. This one is not sugar daddy. This one behaves like the way daddy behaves. And I handled him. Mommy, you are just there. Hey, don't talk to your father. You see why even the daughter can challenge the father. Say, go and sit down. And the father will just like. Because this daughter has met your type. Even worse. And she clipped them. Those are the kind of people Jesus is looking for. Just say, I need those kind of people. They need men who have spiritual access to marry them. So sometimes you may see a lady who is not married for a long while. And they may be saying, come and meet this person. And he wants to meet you. Collins just finished medical school. He wants to see you. He say, Collins, what can Collins do for me? I've dated the medical director of the hospital. Collins is still doing residency. That's it, Angel. You understand? And the parents say, you are not getting any younger. She's not complaining. She still knows somehow, some way. She will meet someone who has access to divine truth. If he's amongst men, I will meet him. She didn't even ask Jesus if Jesus was married. She said, give me what you have. She didn't even ask him, are you married? You want to talk to me about marriage? She was not interested. Man, this is the guy I need, man. You are gifted. A woman meeting you for the first time is telling you to your face you are gifted because he heard you talk. And you told her something that even the boyfriend at home does not know. Say, brother, you are gifted. You can monitor me spiritually. You can roam. You are gifted. You talk well. Even Jesus was hailing her. He was not even criticizing her. You see, you are very truthful, madam. The one you have at home is really not a man. Says, I are gifted. Correct. Confirm. You are gifted. Do you know there are many women who are looking for men like that? They can just marry one guy just to manage him. And the guy say, you don't listen to me. And the woman say, hey, look at you. It's because my mother said I should marry you. And then the guy say, come now, let's consummate marriage. Say, we should consummate waiting. Go and sleep in your room. Man. Who told you it is people like you? Those kind of women, you tell her, they saw your husband with one high school, she's not perturbed. You understand? Let's show you something. I want to show you something that was communicated, that you didn't know was being communicated, but was communicated. Go to Luke chapter 2. It's not part of what we want to share. Lord, why are we digressing like this? But do you understand what we explained so far? Because some men need to sit up.
Yes, sir. You didn't lie. You did not lie.
Whatever he said.
Lord.
Look at Luke chapter 2. Are you in Luke chapter 2?
Yes,
Look at verses 36. Can we read together? 1, 2, go. And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of what? Phanuel, of the tribe of Asa. She was of great age and had lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity.
and she was a widow about 4 years.
Who departed? Do you understand?
God was fasting and prayer.
You understand? She was with one man for 7 years before she was disvirgined, right? In her marriage. After she was disvirgined, the man died and the woman went to live in church and has been serving God for 80 years. Brother, there are women who are desiring access to divine truths. Marriage is nothing to them. The man died, she did not mourn. Say, brother, I tried for you. 7 years. I gave you 7 years. Now she's giving God 80 years. You didn't get what we're trying to communicate. The man died. He said there was one woman. There was one Anna, prophetess, with a husband. Only for 7 years. The man died. She served God more than her marriage. I want to show you something. Look at Genesis 49. You read something of the tribe, about the tribe of Asa in verses 20. Read something of the tribe of Asa. 1, 2, go. This is Jacob talking. Come on now. 1, 2, go. What is dainties? You don't know what dainties is?
Something good to eat, a delicacy.
Do you understand? This is a woman who was marked for royalty. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So she came from that tribe. It is in their blood. There's something royal about them. Now, what was she known for? What was Anna known for in the temple? She was known for what? Come on, fasting and prayer. Because there was nothing royal in the temple. Do you understand? So she just decided to live for God. But royalty is in her blood. Now, why was she in the temple for 80 years serving God? In the whole Israel, there was no man royal fit for her. Do you understand? Some women know the kind of men they are looking for. It's not I like you, I like to marry. Brother, what do you carry? Do you know what is in my blood? So he said, man, since there's no man who can, let me just fast and serve God. But back to the lesson now. All that we said was, it's a beautiful digression of the Spirit to show you something. We hope that bless you. But looking at the lesson, the title of the lesson is, Thou art a prophet. She said, you must be a man who is gifted at exposing divine truths. So divine truths can be what? Wrapped. But there are certain men who have been gifted to exposing it. And there are certain kind of women who desire those kind of men. Maybe that's the reason why last week so and so marriage was dissolved. The problem looks like the woman is at fault, but really she's not. She thought she could find this man she married for many years as one who can grant her access into divine truths. You see, from my mother's family, there was this voodoo priestess they had. And I think we've mentioned her name one time, Mary Kafa or something. I'll still not forget. I don't think about it now. But I still wonder who really married who between her and her husband. Because this is a woman that people from far away states, people who travel 8 to 10 to 15 hours to come to the village. She does not have a signboard. And come and meet her. And she will conjure oracles and give them solutions. In fact, she was the only native doctor that I have seen until now. Then, who recorded victories with mad people, curing insanity. They will bring mad people in chains to her. She will make a concoction and give them to drink. They will be very normal. She will say, leave them, go. In 2 weeks, come back. And the person will be very sane. As though nothing happened. And I was just 8 years old. But I've never forgotten. That thing triggered something in me. Say, man. And I used to ask myself some questions and I could not explain why. Even at 8 years old, I'll be asking, supposing I want to marry Mary Kafa, for instance, how will I do it? Supposing I meet a woman who is like Mary Kafa, how will I do it? Because she had a husband. Very calm, gentle, nice man. No, I believe is maybe she gave him something to eat. I don't know. Because I wonder, can this man just run away? Where will he run to? Mary Kafa will. That's right. Yeah. It's just to carry his picture and put needle.
He would just come back.
Brother,
He would become. His eyes will be back.
And the marriage is peaceful. It has to be peaceful. So, Mary Kafa. Now, this is even someone who does voodoo. And men who own companies will come and meet her. They need her to greet her. And the way she honors her husband, she will come, she will greet her husband. The man, like, for me, I don't know whether the greeting was sincere or not. It's not my business. But let's suppose I was privy to the man's heart. I would be, maybe the man would say, please don't greet me. Oh, you know you are too much. Oh. Okay, I accept. Oh, I accept. Go, 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 go. Clients are waiting for you. Meanwhile, there are men who were voodoo priests in the village. And problems they cannot solve, they will bring it to Mary Kafa. I said, what is it about this woman? Then on my father's side, there was another one again. A woman. The one that used to throw cowries.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
That one married a king once. And when the king wanted to kill her, because he had many wives, and he belonged to the old court. So she told me that he wanted to use her, he wanted to kill her and use her for charm. And because I asked her, how did you get into this thing? She said, so that's how she ran away. I met one voodoo priest. And she told him, teach me this thing. That's how the man taught her. So I said, you teach me this thing. But I didn't know how to marry. But she did have children. And the children, she had them for a king. A well-known king. Until she died. She gave her heart to Christ later on. And then went to be with the Lord. But the point is, who could have married her? Who could have married her? And I've seen her picture when she was younger. Beautiful woman. Oh. But if she throws cowries and is interpreting matters to you. And whenever we recall then in the village, if she's walking, men will stop. They will bow to greet her. She will greet them. Then she will whisper, don't mind him, he's an hypocrite. He did this thing. He stole one goat last week. I'm seeing it before him. Yeah, that kind of woman. How can you come and tell her I love you? She's seen everything. But I just tell her I don't love you, but I just want to. Listen, there are women. They either desire access to divine truths by God or by divination. And you must be a man who can provide it. Otherwise, don't tell them you love them. And the amazing thing is that you may never get to know that that is what they desire. Because this woman did not tell Jesus. Oh, thank God Jesus knew what she desired. But the 5 men she had did not know. All this woman was desiring was a man who had access to divine truth. She said, you must be gifted. So she was looking for a man who was really gifted. Not with soccer, not with the gift of gab, but a man who can expose truths. She believed him. For you to tell me about myself, anything you tell me, I'll believe it. Gathered the whole city for Jesus. We will need flyers to invite people for crusade. This woman went to gather all the whole city instantly. What 12 men could not do, the disciples of Jesus, what they could not do, one woman did it in less than 1 hour. And the thing is that, some women, you see where some group of women sit down and they are discussing men. They talk about how unreasonable, how men are playboys and all that. But you are a fool. If you are that kind of woman, you must be a fool. What have you desired to make a man sit up? You think you can be a player to Mary Kafa? They say, all these men, you carry one bag. I was thinking about it recently. We saw 3 women holding bag, putting it here. I know they hold bag here. Now they are putting bag here. They do like this. See hardship. That's hardship. Oh. They put bag. The thing is heavy. Hardship. Is that not suffering? Then they will gather muscle here. They'll be discussing men. All these men, players. Why won't they play with you? Why won't they play? What kind of woman are you? Why should we take you seriously? That's the truth now. Are you a woman we should take seriously? What are your pursuits? What do you really desire? The woman was tired of playing. Although she has one she's playing with right now. That one thought he was playing her. She just met someone. The seventh guy now, Jesus. The guy is at home thinking he's playing now. The woman said, I don't have any husband. That stupid guy is at home. He's not gifted with any jackal. He doesn't even know I'm talking to another man. Lord have mercy upon me. Elisha said to Gehazi, my spirit followed you. If Gehazi were to be a woman talking to Naaman, Elisha would kill him if Gehazi were to be a woman. As a man, he cursed him with leprosy. Imagine if Gehazi were a woman. He said, my spirit followed you. You think you are still in charge. Meanwhile, you don't know where your wife is coming from. The woman said, I don't have any husband. Go and sit down. He says, sir, you must be gifted. This one, the woman too is carrying phone. Where are you? Hey, why are you always lying to me? Then you enter your car, you are following him. 2 cars before you. See how cheap you became. A man he was angry with his wife. Some friends came to settle them. The woman said, there's no need for settlement. The man said he's angry with his wife. They said, what are you angry? He said, she does not jealous me. The woman looked at him. What is there to jealous? Sit down. There's nothing in you to jealous. I just married you because I wanted my mother to be happy. I gave you the children you want. Leave me and God. Say I should jealous you. If you bring 10 women here, I will even help you arrange bed. And go downstairs. Yeah, what is there to be jealous? Why? Because the woman knew what she was pursuing, although she realized it late. There are some people, they are in their marriage today. They married this year. 15 years from now, the marriage will die. They can still be in it till they die. But it died 15 years after they married. Because the lady finally met someone who could expose them to divine truth. Their hunger increased. The men at home could not meet their desires. Is this pastor that is taking you away? You will not go to that church. Then you carry gun. You fool. Bro, there was a guy. You know the person now. 7 years ago, he used to bring gun to where we used to hold fellowship. He said, I wanted to meet you, Bro.Osi. I was looking at him. The day I warned you know the person now. You know the person. The man, if he hears about Bro.Osi now, he will run away. I said, that's why you are bringing gun to church. You think you want to scare me? He said, do you know I'm carrying a gun? I said, see where you put your gun here. He was very native that day. I said, see where you put your gun. He said, you can see that. I said, you are a fool. If I want to kill you now, if I want that gun now to disappear, I can make it disappear. If I want to set that gun on fire now so that I can burn your buttocks where you hide it. We told him. 7 years ago now, he knows the person. Evangelist Benedict knows the person. He used to bring gun to church. Pastor Ma used to be there. Where we used to hold fellowship. Pastor Ma sat next to him, but she does not know the person I'm talking about. So before you start saying men are players, you these women, shut up. Who are you? Why won't a man play with you? What do you desire? What do you desire? You think, okay. She says, sir, you must be gifted. You are good at foretelling. You can tell the future. The word prophetess also means one who can tell the future. He says, sir, you can really foretell. You can tell the future. I need a man who can tell the future. Because that will give me hope. That there is a future secured for me. What do you have today? You find many ladies. Madam, there's a pastor who likes you. You like to. No, I don't want to marry men of God. They don't have time for you. Go and sit down. You think you are someone we should have time for. This woman was not like that. She was looking for a man who can secure her future. Say you can foretell. You can foretell the future. I need a man like that. This one can secure a future for me. So she was always in pursuit of a man who can secure her a future. She said, you must be a prophet. You are gifted. Aye. Listen. Listen carefully. Okay. No, let's talk to we men. It's not look, oh. Because the looks will fade away. It is whether or not you are gifted. Imagine a lady saying to a man, I like you, I have feelings for you. The reason why I can't marry is that you are not gifted. I wish you were. Go and pray. Say, Lord, open my eyes so that I can see.
Sorry.
One day we were with some folks, a man and his wife, and we were just talking. We were talking. And then the next day I said, get out of here! And they all looked at me, are you okay, fine? I said, I saw an evil arrow coming. So I chased it away. The woman looked at me. And she looked at her husband. Yeah, but actually we did see an arrow come. Man shook her head. Say, I see.
I see. I feel.
I must see you.
I see. All my sons see. I see. You see.
Samson was mighty when the spirit of might came upon him, but could not see that his enemies were just behind the curtain. Lord, have mercy upon me. Lord, whatever you need to do to open my eyes, please do it. Even if it's to put another eye behind my back, Father, do it for your glory. The Bible says the cherubims have eyes everywhere. They must see everything.
Yes, I must see everything. Yes.
This woman says, sir, you are gifted. I've been looking for a man who is gifted. You are really gifted. This one is on, oh, can't you see he's really cute, he's fine. Leave this cute thing. One measles will finish him. One stroke. One stroke when he's not lifting right leg and left hand. No, because some of you even have boyfriends. Just go. Those of you who are married, don't ask your husband. Don't go ask your husband. Some of them will be watching. They say, let me find out what you heard today. Now, please don't ask your husband. But those who have boyfriends, just look at. You don't even need to. Just look at the guy. And be honest with yourself. Whether this person can take you to a future. This woman says, sir, you can foretell. I need you. You can secure me a future. The woman was not looking for a man who can give her a house, buy her a car. She said, forget. I need a man who can secure me a future. You can foretell. You are gifted. If you can know about my past, then you know a lot about my future. I need you, brother. And that's what God has sent our Papa Joshua Egila to do, to raise men of such.
Amen.
You understand? Where a woman can have issues at work and say, no, let me call my husband. Even a colleague has a problem at work. The woman say, don't worry, let me call my husband. He will help you solve it. Say, madam, why are you this confident? Look at the confidence Mary had for Jesus, not even for Joseph. She said, whatever he tells you to do it. Whatever he tells you to do. She wished she married Jesus. Joseph was there. Follow. Went for a wedding. The Bible says she invited Jesus, but she did not invite Joseph. Told them they have no wine. Jesus said, woman, how is it my business? He said, forget it. Whatever it tells you to do, do it. There are women who know the kind of men they want. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes he says, oh, this one, I want to marry as a virgin. For who? Which fool do you want to marry as a virgin? Which fool do you want to lose your virginity to? Didn't you read about this Anna?
Exactly.
Prophetess. She lost everything. Say, forget it. Let him die. Let me serve God. Could not produce a royal dainty for me. Let him go. Let me serve God. She was of the tribe of Asa. Even Agag, a slave, had access to Abraham's bed. Do you understand? There are women. Did not say, sir, you know I'm a young girl. She was glad. She said, this man, God talks to him. Oh. Brother, I'm ready to marry you. Then you say, why are men players? Why won't they play with you? Why won't they play with you? I just want one who really cares about me. Care. This man say, forget, I can take care of men. I need one who can give me access to a secured future. She said, you must be a prophet. Jesus did not say, I'm a prophet. She said, you are. You can expose matters. I need you, man. I have issues I want to talk to you about. There was one lady who was looking for her brothers. They've been looking for her brother, actually, the family were looking for their son for 19 years. And they just said they couldn't find him and all that. And in the course of just talking, she had told us about that before, so we ignored it. And we were just talking. For some reason, the Lord whispered, he is in Togo. So I said, Madam, your brother that you have been looking for is in Togo. You know, they found him last year. Actually, he came home. They said, where are you coming from? Where are you coming from? He said, from Togo. But the woman is no longer in our ministry again. But the brother was in Togo. Brother, Lord, open my eyes to see. That the Lord can tell you someone who was missing for 19 years where the person is. There was one like that they told us about. They thought he was in Italy. I said he's in Russia. He's in Russia. He didn't make it to Italy. He's in Russia. Father, open my eyes to see. What are we trying to say? The kind of woman you are will determine the kind of man you will attract. Irrespective of whether you are married or not. This woman was already married. Do you know there are some divorces that must take place? Because in the life of a woman, where it looks like the woman is the victim. But the woman is not acknowledging she's a victim because there is a man coming for her. She has gathered the necessary experience to take care of this one that is coming. She's already worth 6 men. To have a reasonable conversation with a Jesus. The apostles, Jesus' relationship with the apostles was instruction. He would send them, go and do this, come and do this, go and do this. Each time he wanted to even engage in a reasonable conversation, they would challenge him. So he was relating with them on command. Go, come, go and do this, go and do that. But for the first time, he met a woman. He even secretly told he was a Messiah too. He told the woman, I'm a Messiah. This was a woman who had dealt with 6 men already. How can your pastor trust a married woman than you, assistant pastor? Peter was there. They were going to buy food. Jesus is discussing heavyweight spiritual matters with a woman. And you will never read that even after that encounter, the woman followed Jesus. She didn't need to. She said, this one is one-on-one. We've settled your matter. Moved on. If Peter had come to this city to come and preach again, the woman will not attend. Say, who is that? Go and sit down. It is Jesus that I talk to. I don't talk to people like you. Go and sit down. Thank God it didn't happen. Because even if Peter would have even gone and said, Madam, please help us organize crusade. Jesus would be sending disciples 2 to go and gather the city. This woman did it by herself. One. Without ordination. Sister, you must be gifted. You must be gifted. She didn't say you know how to speak in tongues. She says, sir, you are gifted. Yeah, it's not speaking in tongues. Orogbo means bitter cola in Yoruba. No. Yeah, it's not orogbo. Say, man, I need a man who is gifted. Anyway, we still didn't get into what we wanted to share. But the point we wanted to introduce, so we'll continue in our next class. All right? But what we wanted to introduce is the fact that Jesus here engaged in a particular gift of the Spirit called the gift of the word of knowledge, yet did not solve our problem. Rather, it looks like Jesus used her for the sake of evangelism to minister to the whole people. But on the other hand, the woman was even comforted. So the woman cannot go back now and say, all men are the same. No, I met one. That one is gifted. There are many men. I've dealt with different men. But I met one. Can you be that one? Can you be that one? And to the women, what are you desiring? See, we're showing you here, from this woman's perspective, the reason why she was changing men. Because there's a way a man can look like it, meanwhile he's not. There's a way a man can look like it, meanwhile he's not. You know, we were talking to Pastor Vivo, was it this year or last year, or early this year or something. In the course of talking, we were talking about someone, one lady, that somebody wants to marry, and the lady was acting up. So Pastor Vivo was talking to the lady, and Pastor Vivo said she said to the lady. We asked her, what did you say to her? She said, I said to her, you don't know what you are missing. It is simply because you don't know who wants to marry you. I say it's true. And we laughed over it. See, that kind of lady does not know. But she desires to be married. What kind of man? Somebody who cares for me, someone who is loving, someone we can hold hands together, one we can go and do shopping together. This woman say, look, leave shopping. Leave shopping. If I can go and fetch water, I can do shopping. Leader, I need a man who can grant me access. Who can expose what? Divine truths to me. And from the way Jesus spoke to her, it didn't sound like Jesus had regards for her. She didn't mind. Say you are the real deal. Not like the idiot that I have at all. You are the real Marco. What are you pursuing in your life? So don't say men are players. They played you because you deserve to be played. And the reason why they played you is because you don't have any desire. No, I have desires. What are your desires? I want to go to school. I want to go and sit down. This woman was not concerned about education. She said, I need someone who can give me access to divine truth. Like we said, Mary wished she married Jesus. It's just unfortunate Jesus was her son. And then Matthew now exposed who Joseph is. A man who is sulking in his own misery and falls asleep. He will mourn his misery and fall asleep. Just that he does not drink alcohol. And an angel came and said, stop it. For him to see, he has to sleep. To see, to dream. Oh yeah, run to Egypt. Dream again. Come back. Dream. So do you sleep? God cannot talk to you. Then they can kill you easily. Because the enemy will not come while you are sleeping. He knows that your power is in the sleep. Then he will strike you while you are awake. But not Jesus. Jesus said, who touched me? Somebody touched me. The disciples were so blind. They said, Master, no. Everybody is touching you. Jesus said, somebody touched me. There's a woman that touched me. Hey, these men are so blind. They thought Jesus was crazy. If this woman was there that day in Mark chapter 5, when Jesus was saying, who touched me? The woman said, that's my guy. That's the guy. That's what I'm talking about. This guy, he knows matters. He can expose divine truth. Hey. 12 men cannot see. Lord, please open my eyes. Father, reveal hypocrites to me. You know, if men were to complain about that woman, they say, her own is too much. Her own is too much. She's not content. She's not contented. Be content with what you have. Jesus said, not this kind of woman. Give her access. She's satisfied. Expose divine truths to her. Then give her assurance you can secure a future for her. Jesus assured the thief on the cross, I promise you will be with me in paradise. Can even a criminal have hope of a glorious future?
Yes, sir.
Once they are around you? Yes. You think that thief will ever steal from that kind of Jesus? If Jesus was let go and that thief was let go, you think he will ever steal from Jesus? No. A man who told me there's a future. Not every thief is bad, though. There are some thieves. The reason why they steal is because you don't even see. If you can see, they will tell you, brother, I will not steal again. I will just follow you. Have you not seen some husbands, their wives steals from them big time? Steal. And you find the husband, who took this thing? Even the mother say, ask your children. You will now go to the children's room. Hey, brother. You couldn't see. You climbed down the stairs to the basement to go and meet Chukudi. Chukudi.
No.
Chukudi cannot see. Oh. And the wife just laughed. What a man she married. No, there's a way a husband can say, I know you took it, but next time ask me. No, I did not see your money, no problem. But next time ask me. Then the woman said, man, this my husband, he sees fire. Apostle Joseph I. Babalola had many children living with him. And his wife didn't like the idea at all. She was always angry and all that. He would visit families and children would tell them, children will say to him, Baba, we want to follow you. We want to come and be living with you. You tell them, come. The children will, before their father and mother, pack their load and follow the man of God. And they lived with him till the man of God went to be with the Lord. They stayed in the house. When they were doing the man of God's burial, they came as children to the man of God.
That's right. We all children. Yes, sir.
But the man of God's wife, sometimes she can be nasty. The man of God has gone for crusade, though. He will come back and tell the wife everything she did. Tell her, stop it. I saw when you did this thing. Some men have lived, man. It's my time. It's my turn. We must see you. In this lifetime. Man, these eyes are ready to see. Father, help me to be sensitive to your sight.
Father, help me to be sensitive to your sight.
Let my ears hear you, Lord.
Let my ears hear you, Lord.
There's somebody that comes to see us once every week here in this house, and we do some studies together. We were telling him about his son, because while we were sitting, the Lord was telling me about his son. So I said, "That your son. This. Something is coming for him in the White House." We told him of even a setup that was going to come. He called his son immediately. The son said, "Sir, it is true." Even before coming, earlier on this evening, somebody called and said, "Bro.Osi, yeah, how do you do this thing?" I said, "It's God. All glory to his name." Father, open my eyes to see. The woman says, "Sir, you are gifted. You are the guy I've been waiting for." It's unfortunate I had to pass through the hands of 6 men. But you are really the guy I've been waiting for. All these men of God, they take people's wife. Look and see, damn. You think you are a husband. Oh, man. Your wife is pregnant. It is your wife. And it is your seed you put inside her womb. He is pregnant, you don't know the sex of what you put inside. You need another doctor with an instrument to tell you the sex of the child. Save Lord. You understand? See, this is our pastor here. Some of us can remember one midnight we had union where I think it was Pastor Eunice who said, "What if you have a daughter for a firstborn?" He was very upset that day. Do you understand? And we told him, it is true. And he was upset the more. He has a daughter. Long before the wife got pregnant. Because when Pastor Eunice said it, we saw it. Do you understand? Brother, we must see this matter. You understand? This one we didn't need to see. The wife was not even pregnant. There was no clue. But we've already discussed the sex of the child. Already. You remember that night? Pastor Favor was there. Some of us were there. That midnight. Brother Gina was there. Then we used to stay in Union till 3 a.m. before we start going on. Long before. Sister was still in Maryland. But we've already settled the sex of the child. Hey, that is. With that machine. Brother, we must see you. The woman says, "Sir, you are gifted." As we're talking to you, that same grace is entering everyone. Amen. We are gifted. This thing, it starts to work now. And to the ladies, anyone you currently admire that you think is somebody you want to say, go and sit down and ask yourself, really? This brother cannot see Jack. This one cannot see Jack Robinson. We must see this thing.
We must see it, sir. All of us must see it.
How can you not see something that concerns you? Lot was a concern to Abraham. God said, "I cannot hide it." Abraham was not a Christian. Abraham did not have the Holy Ghost. Yeah, God cannot hide things from him.
I like that one.
Then you that has the Holy Ghost, you come from. Abraham never went to church one day till he died. Never attended church service. Never had a pastor. You that come to church, we must see you.
We must see. We must see. We must see. I would give the word to Christ.
You must see. Oh.
Sir.
I see, man.
I see.
Oh, man. I will never fall in my life.
I will never fall in my life.
See? So you see, men, we can see here from this story. This is just an introduction. We didn't really even enter what we wanted to share. But we'll continue in our next class. But it's very obvious that men are the reason, or let's say, can be the reason why certain women go through what they go through. But you can't blame the men when the women don't even know what to desire. Imagine if you say this to a young child as a girl. You see, she will know what she's looking up to. She will know what she's looking for. Not one rush hour Richard that will just come. rush hour Richard. He will rush in to Russia like car wash. Not that one. Not like that kind of. If the guy is rushing into your side, say, brother, cool down.
Honestly, relax.
I'm not like that. See me, do I look like a human being?
I will eat you.
Do you know? We close with this finally. Man, we enjoyed today's service. But we believe what we told you makes sense. Do you know Deborah? One of the judges.
Yes.
Do you know she was married?
Yes.
She just finished giving birth when she started prophesying to Barak. A nursing mother followed Barak to battle. Barak, a commander of the army, he said, I'm not going to fight until you follow me. Wow. And Barak did not say, let's ask your husband first. You ask which husband? Deborah said, let's go. Madam, talk to your husband and tell him that only you put the baby in the daycare. I want to follow them to battle. He said, don't worry, let's go. And the husband did not say, why did you do this to me? Do waiting. But go and sit down. See, I only married you because of mercy. Lord, have mercy upon me. That's what we ask you. How did Mary Kafa marry? That's even someone doing voodoo. Like the other mama, it was a king that married her. And the king, when he saw how strong the head of this his wife is, he said, let's use that for charm. That's why she ran away. So because this one that I married, a king. Said his wife, your own is too strong. The voodoo spirits around you, no, we must use it for charm. That's why she ran away. So sometimes a woman may be faced with certain circumstances that may look adverse. But sometimes it could be because of what is following her. That the one she's even wanting to make a husband is not fit to be a husband. Because by grace she's stronger. Strong desires prevail. Remember? This woman's desire conquered the 5 men she married. Her desire chased them away, one after the other. Even denied the one at home as a husband before Jesus. And Jesus said it is true. It's true. Men gathered to bring a woman before Jesus could not lift a stone against her.
Yes, sir.
Because another man who is gifted exposed the truth.
Yes, sir.
He said, he that is without sin throws stones. And the men threw their stones on the ground. This was the same woman who was bold enough by 5 a.m. to go to the graveside where Jesus was buried, that 12 men were afraid to go to. Strong desires prevail. A woman with a strong desire can conquer your anointing. Brother, go and sit down now. A woman's strong desire can destroy your manhood. Go and sit down. You say you are a male. Go and sit down, man. What can you expose to the woman? We're not saying you expose her. What can you expose to her so that she can say you are really gifted? Well, anyway, let's close before you feel bad. But I'm a success forevermore. I'm gifted of the Holy Spirit. Yes. I am a success forevermore. Yes, I am. I don't know about you, but I am a success forevermore. Yeah. I do not quiver. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm speaking about myself. My persuasion is sure. Yes. My faith is strong. I'm fully persuaded. Fully. That he who had begun this good work in me will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. Were you blessed? Yes, do you like this woman? Yes. Or you feel embarrassed? No. Was she able to talk to you today? Yes. Because we are like her voice now talking to you. Yes. Telling you, don't mock me that I married 5 men. I can help your condition. She really can. And she pointed a real woman to the kind of men they should desire. Men who are gifted at exposing divine truths. And when you have the privilege to marry such a person, honor that person with your life. Because you can lose them to another. And it's just the truth. Vasti did not know who she married. Even Esther, child of God, needed to dress herself 3 months to see a husband, and God was not angry. God said, sister, I'm with you, but that guy, I've exalted him. Do you know who King Ahasuerus was called? Do you know how he was addressed? He was addressed as King of Kings. The Babylonian kings were addressed that way, King of Kings. Don't think it's Jesus that was called King of Kings. There were kings who were already addressed as King of Kings long before Jesus came. And you marry such a person, you say, we are equal. We are one. Go and sit down, you this time, mate. Go and sit down. Not you now, with me that. You know, listen. There are certain men a woman can marry. Respect. Even if pastor is saying both of you now are one, two shall become one flesh. Respect yourself in your mind. We are not one. No. In your mind. You understand? It's not as if the man will disrespect you. No, he will not disrespect you. Even you yourself, you know, seeing him, I see God. Do you understand? Yes. When I see him, I see God. Say, we are all one. Even if the husband tells you, we are one, this is I agree, you say so. In my mind, I'm still yet to reconcile it. Just respect yourself. That is the truth. You may not like what we say is the truth. There are some men, both of you are one. It's true. There are some men, you are not one. Just respect yourself. Have you noticed some women, they call their husband daddy? This one is not is traditional. No, the man is really their daddy. Better respect yourself. So this one is saying darling, this one is saying honey, this one is saying daddy. She knows why she's calling him daddy. Another one, this one is saying my king. This one is my king. It's not, and this one that is saying my king is not because it's love. So she loves her husband, she calls him my king. Shut up. He is, look at him, you know why she calls him my king. He's like a secretary that marries the CEO of a $500 fortune business. She now says we are one. You secretary. That human resource hired. Posted you to the CEO's office. He now liked you and married you. You say you are one. Go and sit down now. Tambolo marry elephant. He say you are one. No. Know your mate.
Yes, sir.
Listen, if you know your level, do you understand? I'm not saying the men, they are men. You see, I don't believe that only a crazy man would just want to disrespect a woman or his woman. Only a crazy person. But even the woman says, you know. He honors me, but I know he's not my mate. And this has nothing to do with age. Has nothing to do with age. In everything, he already had it before I came. Sit down. That's why God will say, Adam, you listen to this one. You had everything before she came. What can she offer you? Apple. I mean, fruit. Something you were already taking care of before she was created. Do you understand? It didn't mean Adam disrespected her. No, Adam loved her. You understand? But the serpent told the woman, you will be like God. So she wanted to be better than her husband. God said, okay. You will see conception. You know. There's no meat in this matter. Is it because what Adam said? Two shall be called one flesh. Respect yourself. Oh. But if you are the one better than your husband, fine. Let him respect himself too. That's why we asked you one time about Margaret Thatcher. Yes. Imagine if her husband says, come back home now. Yeah? M16 will come to him and say, brother, when did this all start? Where should we post you to? Russia or where? If you say it again. But the same most powerful woman in the world at the time will still come home, enter the kitchen, wear apron, cook for her husband. Even the husband honors her. Even when he eats, he's grateful. He will tell her, God bless. That's how they spoke. We watched the documentary. He said, God bless, God bless. The husband honored her. Margaret Thatcher will need them to clean her son's shoes. But he knows. As she's kneeling down cleaning her son's shoes, all the men standing. All the men standing. He is not even equal to any of them. But he will see that. The mother will say, sit. And she will kneel down and clean her son's shoes. See how God exalted her. Yes. Then the husband will just put his head on the ground. Know your mate too. Yes, sir. Because we are in the season where you need to know your mate. Don't say you know your right. Which right? Come and say that. Is it because they told you? They told you that you have rights. You think you do. Some they don't need to tell you they have rights. You can see it. You are doing demonstrations on the street to prove that you have rights. Some men don't need to. Their success is a proof. They can close that demonstration. Lord, have mercy upon me.
Lord, have mercy upon me.
The woman said to Jesus, you are gifted. She knew. She didn't need to pray, God, give me a man. She didn't need to. She knew, if I see him, I will know him. If I hear him talk, I will know this is the guy. He said he's gifted. Lord, have mercy upon me. So as a woman, you can pray this prayer. Lord, reveal to me who I should desire. Connect me to who I... No, those who are married, you're already married. No, which kind of prayer is that one? It's not for you. Yeah. Sister Luna, Brother Niger is watching. Yeah. Before he calls us after service. I said, Brother, what kind of prayer point is that? Lord, have mercy. Actually, it's not for you. Your husband may be watching today. Just thank God. Because now there's internet service in Africa. Praise God. But I'm a success forevermore. I will never fail in my life. Talk to the Lord. Bless him. Bless him. Lord, redirect my desires. Redirect my values. Reveal to me clearly what I should pursue in my life. Reveal to me clearly what my pursuits should be in life. Reveal to me clearly. Talk to the Lord. Let me desire what really matters. Reveal to me what my desires should be. Lord, I don't want to live a mediocre life. Father, bring to me men and women that matter. Men and women of substance. Men and women who can expose divine truths. Father, bring them into my life. Bring them to me, oh God. Praise God. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name. Amen. I hope you were not angry. Because some of you, your prayer sounded like complaint. Say, I'm a success for the Lord. See, the more we say these things, the more we increase in it. I'm a success for the Lord. Do you believe it?
Yes, sir.
Say it. I am a success for the Lord. All right, let's give our offerings. Praise God.